I'm sharing 2 domed shaped Halloween cards using Mama Elephant products. Hello everyone, it's Joy here and welcome to my channel. I'm going to start by stamping my images from the super cute Big Boo stamp set. And I have the haunted house. There's 4 ghosts. I'm going to show coloring a broom, but I don't use it. There's a moon and a witch's hat. And then there's a candle that I do stamp and color. I think about 5 times. I only ended up using 4 of them. So I'm using my Misty to stamp that on some Nina cardstock. I'm inking it up with black ink from Honeybee Stamps, and we are going to create these 2 cute domed shaped cards. And I'm actually using the Arch Snow Globe from Mama Elephant to create these. I'm using Copic markers to color my images. You can see the caps there of what colors I'm using. Like I said, I did multiple candles because one of my cards, I want it to look like the candles are floating with the ghosts. I just thought that would be super fun and cute. And then the other one is going to have this darling haunted house with a ghost. So I wanted to use the broom. It just didn't fit anywhere, but I will just leave in the coloring of that. I am going to do the haunted house with dark grays and some purple. We have the hat that's going to have purple and dark grays to create black. We have our moon with a couple different yellows. I did not use this second yellow. I actually ended up coloring over that and bringing in this darker kind of orangey yellow. Then for the ghosts, I will start with a very light purple. That's BV11. And I was going to use my Zero blender brush, but it was out, which is actually a good thing. It was totally dry. I used the C1 marker to blend out that purple. I like that so much better because it gave it a little bit of gray as well. So it was kind of like a happy accident. So that's why I'm going to color all 4 of the ghosts, and I think they turned out really, really good. So again, adding some of that purple and then blending it out because the C1 or your blender marker has less color. It kind of almost erases some of the color and blends it out, and then you get this nice smooth look. I'm adding some little dots of pink to the cheeks and then blending that out with that C1 marker as well. Now let's start coloring our hat. I'm going to do C8, C6, and C4, I believe. And for when I'm coloring the Haunted Mansion, I am going to do C2 for the clouds, but when I'm doing the tiles or the roof, I am going to go a little bit darker with the C8, C6, and C4, and then the house, I believe I go just a little bit lighter. So I'm tracing over those lines a little bit thicker. So the lines of the tiles, I really want that to stand out. So I'm going to go over that with the C8 and 6, and then come back in and blend with that C4 just a little bit. And then I'm going to go back over with that darker color because it does tend to blend away a little bit. So on the edges here, I'm going to do C8 just to give it some darker shadow areas. Maybe I did the whole thing the same color. No, and then I come in with C4 and then I think C2. So for a second there, I thought I was wrong, but I'm not. And then we have those cute, well, not cute. I mean, it is cute, but spooky wood that's going to go on across the windows because it's a haunted house and no one wants to know that anyone's behind there, but I'm going to add a little bit of yellow in the windows and then some brown that I used for that broom on the wood that's closing out or crossing out the windows. I'm struggling today, you guys. And then the same C colors for the tombstone, and then we've got our pumpkins that I'm doing kind of this darker rustier orange for the pumpkins. There's a cute kitten that I'm going to color him black here in just a little bit. The door is going to be purple and black, and I started off with the right dark purple. I came in with the third color I used. I didn't like it, so I colored back over it. So These two colors were fine. This color did not go well. So I'm going to go back over it with that medium color there, and then the dark color, I'll bring that in. And then I will create a black frame around the door and the centerpieces there. So we have this cute purple door, which kind of pops. The background for this card that's going to have the haunted house is going to be purple. So it kind of all ties in together, and it's really super cute. I'm using the coordinating dies to die cut all of my images. I'm going to tape that in place with some mint tape and then run this through my die cut machine. I'm using the Spellbinders. That first color on here I did not like. That was the Dusty, what was that? Dusty Concord or Dusty something. I can't remember. I covered it up with the Villainous Potion, and then I'm going to use black soot around the edges. So I did not like that first color, so I'm going to change that. No big deal. The Villainous Potion is darker. And then there's my frame to that arch snow globe. So I want to make sure I'm seeing some of the black outside of that frame. So that's kind of how this guy is going to fit, but we're going to add some more details to the background, and we have another background to create. But I want to make sure that everything lines up nicely. This is going to be the sentiment strip, so I'm going to ink that up with the Villainous Potion as well. Then for the second background, and those were Distress Oxide inks, for the second background, I'm going to be using Salvaged Patina and Uncharted Mariner. Just this kind of fun blue, kind of bright in a way background. I'm not using black soot on it, but I'm going to add that Salvaged Patina to the center, and then the Uncharted Mariner on the outside. And I love both of these colors so much. I think they're so pretty. I'll come back in with more of that Salvaged Patina in the center just to give it a nice blend, because those two colors weren't blending well. And I'm using some domed foam from scrapbook.com. I've really been loving these for ink blending lately. I love my blender brushes, but I'm kind of finding and kind of remembering that I like this much better for ink blending a whole background. I feel like I personally get a better ink blending with like the domed foam. And so again, I'm using the ones from scrapbook.com. In my little box here, I'm going to spritz with Distress Spritz with Wilted Violet on this one and Uncharted Mariner on the other one. I wanted to have a little bit of sparkle on the background, shimmery sparkle, because it's, you know, it's Halloween and got these little ghosts and it feels kind of magical. In my Misty, I have that bottom piece that's going to be our sentiment. I have my sentiment from the Be Scary Sentiments. This one says Trick or Treat, and I'm just trying to line up the curve with the curve, or my stamp, excuse me, let me start over. I'm trying to line up my stamp in a curved way, because you can bend your photopolymer stamps to the curve of that little sentiment strip. I'm inking that up with some Archival Jet Black ink, because that stamps nice and bright against Distress Oxide inked backgrounds. I'm going to do the same thing for the other sentiment. This one says Open If You Dare, because remember, again, we're going to create these little arch-shaped, dome-shaped cards. So now that that's lined up, I'm going to ink that up again, and then we have this really cute sentiment. I have die cut the front piece to the frame. So you have that solid back piece, then you have your frame piece. In this Arch Snow Globe die, there is hills in it. I didn't need those, so I just took those out. And I'm just going to start laying this out. I'm going to change out one of these ghosts. I forgot to show you guys me gluing everything down, but this is me just showing the process of what I'm deciding, how I'm going to lay this out. This one was a pretty easy layout. But my other one I really struggled with for a long time. So I'm going to take the witch hat off of this one and put it on the purple background. But I'm going to have I almost said snowmen. That's not right. 3 ghosts and 4 candles on this background. No broom. The broom didn't make it. I mean, it's cute to have those guys like that, but that's just not really the look I was going for. So I was just trying to figure it out. Switching out some ghosts. But I think I got it. And some of these ghosts have die cut little arms that you can tuck things under, so really cute. I'm going to add some foam adhesive and adhere my sentiment, but all of my pieces are already glued down, so you can kind of see how they look. I did trim off the excess of the ghosts that were hanging off the edge. Let's create our shaped card base. I have an A2 size card base. It's folded. So at the top of this dome is where the fold is. And I'm letting my die cut hang off the edge just a little bit so we don't cut through that whole folded edge completely, because that's how our card is going to open up at the top. And so I'm going to do 2 of those. Let's adhere our cute little cards to the front, our little card panels. Cute, cute. And I did add some little stars. They're Twinkle Twinkle stars from Trinity stamps. They're kind of white almost. They're not really silver, they're white. But I did that all over the background, and I'm going to add some more to that trick or treat card onto the front, which I'll show you here in a minute. But I do want to stamp some sentiments inside. So, which I don't normally do, but the sentiments were so cute, I just had to. So inside this one, it says, "Have a spooky good time," and I stamped it with the, oh, what did I stamp it with? The purple ink. Villainous potion. I couldn't think of it. And then the other one, I'm going to be stamping Happy Haunting, and that is going to be with the Uncharted Mariner. This is why I love a Misty. It makes it so nice, especially if you have to re-stamp something. Just if it doesn't, you know, if it doesn't ink up properly, or doesn't just, you know, something's missing on your stamp, it's really nice to have the Misty. So let's ink this one up. And now we've got sentiments inside, and then we can finish with those Twinkle Twinkle stars. Like I said, they really are all over the background, but I'm going to put a few on the front, and I just didn't even record showing that. Apparently I was on the struggle bus when I was making this video. Thought I hit record when I did not. I probably turned my camera off thinking I was turning it back on. So actually, no, I'm putting the stars on this blue one, not on the trick or treat. I didn't love it. My sentiment was a little bit off-centered on that trick or treat, which, you know, ultimately is not the end of the world because this is a handmade card, but I just didn't like it on there. So let's take a look at these up close here. Oh, no, let's do our white gel pen, a little bit on the door, on the witch's hat, and on the pumpkin and the moon. Now let's take a look at these up close so we can see those little stars. We have a little bit of shimmer on the back from the Spritz. Let's take a look at this second one. I think these turned out so cute. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments of these cards. And thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I hope that you enjoyed these projects, and I hope it makes you feel inspired, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Also, I do have a link in my description for my Patreon account if that's something that you would like to join. I'd love for you to be part of the community.